I'm I'm a physical therapist here at Kennedy Krieger in Dr. Wagner in Muscle Clinic. And, you know, I really enjoy learning more about FSH. And today, what my colleague from National Rehab Hospital, Delaware, and I are going to talk about is kind of something related to transition, which is sports and recreation. And we talked about having that healthy ego, having positive goals, having the community support, and those things can be found through being active. And one of the ways to be active is to get involved in adaptive sports and recreation. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today.
So I wanted to talk about adaptive sports for a couple of reasons. Like Dr. Wagner was saying, it really gives you an opportunity for socialization, spend time with other people who have similar abilities or difficulty doing other things. With sports, there's individual sports, there's team sports, there's a lot of different options as far as what you're interested in and what you like to do. Then it also gives you that opportunity to get some exercise, to just sort of get out and move around a little bit more than you might otherwise get a chance to do. So we found some different resources, some different organizations and sports throughout the region that offer different sports to play.
So I thought I would start with this quote: "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." So I think that is true in FSH, and that's true in life. You know, a lot of obstacles may come your way, but you can learn how to deal with those as positively as you can, and you can make the best out of it. And even, you know, like Rebecca was sharing, has made her a stronger person. So we'll start with that. We're going to just the disclaimer. We have been involved, Dory more so, in some of these organizations, but this is not an endorsement for the organizations. We just wanted to offer these as resources. So we're going to start off with a national organization. This is the National Center on Health, Physical Activity, and Disability. There are links throughout, and we can give this presentation later so that you can access it online as well and access the links. This National Center has a lot of different programs. One of that is that you can go ahead and say, I live in Oklahoma, I am interested in kayaking. Where can I do that? That they will help me adapt a kayak or a group of kayakers that are doing adaptive kayaking. You can go to the directory and look and see if there is anything in your area. So that's a great resource. Another program that they offer, which is relatively new, is a 14-week program to a healthier you. And what you do is you log online and you put in some personal information about yourself. So it is kind of like questions like, how are you able to raise your arms? Or how much mobility do you have? Are you confined to power mobility at this point? Questions like that. And then what they do is they give you personalized weekly exercise videos that you can perform, as well as a health coach that you can ask questions to. I've not gone through the whole thing on this, but the introductory looks great, and I think it's a neat resource to check out, and it's completely free, so why not?
Disabled Sports offers sports throughout the year. As you can see, there are a wide variety of people who have different goals and things they'd like to work on, living a healthy lifestyle, living a more fulfilling life, socializing, really just sort of looking forward to getting out and trying different things.
And Disabled Sports did this survey, and the 52 versus 33% was saying that people that were involved in sports and recreation, that 52% in their survey were employed versus 33% in the general population that we consider disabled. So I think when we're thinking about transition, this makes perfect sense. So it's you know, and I don't know who their whole survey targeted, but if we are going to say that we want to be more physically active, we want to socialize, these are things that are going to help with transition, and being involved in sports and recreation seems to be the way to go.
There are a lot of national organizations that sort of take tours throughout the country and they have different sports, and they spend a day at different locations. So for these, it's not as much a regular activity as it is once a year or once every couple of months. One of these is Life Rolls On. This is through the Christopher Reeve Foundation. So the sports through this are mostly for people who are in wheelchairs. The different sports they offer are surfing, skating, and snowboarding, and again, they rotate throughout different locations in the country. These programs are free, there's no cost. The only thing you have to do is sign up and find a way to get there, and then the website is right there.
Okay, Special Olympics is a program most of you have heard of, probably. It is for individuals with intellectual and physical disabilities. They sponsor different programs all around the country. There's a cheerleading team here in Maryland that has participants as young as 4 years of age and up to 60 some odd years of age, and they compete at different competitions. With Special Olympics, you just want to see and look at that team and see if it's the right fit for you. Some of them are geared towards younger individuals or individuals with intellectual disabilities, but they really have a wide variety. Okay, this is just something I briefly want to touch on, and there are a lot of words, but you can see the link at the bottom to get more information. The Department of Education came out with a Dear Colleague letter, and this has to do with individuals that are enrolled in the public school system. And the Dear Colleague letter is not a new piece of legislation, it is just clarifying and reinforcing that individuals with disabilities should be given the same opportunities to participate in sports and recreation at their local school districts. So we've heard from different individuals, and there have been lawsuit cases in the past that generic or stereotypes. You might hear, okay, this individual wants to try out for track and field, but they're in a wheelchair, and so immediately they're saying, no, you cannot try out for track and field, and you cannot participate in track and field. Dear Colleague letter is trying to reinforce and say, yes, they should be able to try out at a minimum, as well as the school district needs to offer appropriate accommodations, as well as opportunity to participate in an adaptive sport. So this is just something to talk to your school district about, and if you run into any difficulty with that, there are a lot of resources available on the Department of Education website under Special Education. So that's kind of a new development. This letter came out this year.
So next we sort of went through each of the different states and found different organizations, different groups, and then we gave you some information on how to contact them if it's something that you're interested in or you live in that area. The first one is Delaware. The Delaware Adaptive Sports is the major organization throughout the state. They have all different types of sports: badminton, skiing, golf, hunting, clay pigeon shooting, and sled hockey. One of the great things about this organization is if you have a sport that you'd like to participate in, they can help organize that, or find equipment, do what needs to be done for you to participate. Also, if you have a team and you have half a team but you need more members, they'll also help you advertise on their website to find more people. There are a couple of organizations in Washington. The first is through the National Rehabilitation Hospital. Hand cycling is an individual sport. And then the other two are team sports: sled hockey and wheelchair tennis. Both sled hockey and wheelchair tennis consist of teams. They meet regularly, practice with the team, compete against other teams throughout the area. The other organization is the DC Center for Therapeutic Recreation, and these include sports as well as arts and crafts, cultural events, special events. They sort of expand a little bit beyond sports itself.
Now we're on to Maryland. Here at Kennedy Krieger, we have the Bennett Institute for Physically Challenged Sports program. It's a very large program. There are all kinds of sports and recreational activities. They meet at our Green Springs campus, which is just a few miles from here. And it really varies. It is up to age 21, so if you're an adolescent, it's a great place to get started, hone some of your skills, and then branch out into some of the other organizations. There's a large list of what they provide. Some of the highlights I thought that were unique was ice skating, ice skate. Dorothy Hamill started this a few years ago, and looking at working with all variety of people and helping them get out on the ice and do some figure skating, which is really neat. Also, bocce is awesome. From a personal level, I love bocce. I play bocce on a team. You do too, right? So it is a lot of fun, and you can join bocce league in the area, even if it's not adapted, just join bocce because it is a lot of fun. And then power soccer, I thought was really neat. So you can play soccer with power mobility. They also offer adaptive foot plates that can go on your chair that you can use during the game, so that you don't have to kick the ball with your legs, but you can kick it with your chair. It sounds like a fun activity.
There are a couple of different organizations throughout the rest of Maryland. The Baltimore Adaptive Sports and Recreation, their big event is skiing. They have a couple of major weekends that they spend skiing. They also do kayaking, camping, get in the water and do some water skiing, hand cycling again, and some seed shooting. And then also the Comrade, which is sailing on the Chesapeake. And then finally the League for People with Disabilities. And this is it's similar to the Y. It's an aquatic center. There's opportunities to exercise there. There's a gym. Where is that located?
That is on East Cold Spring, so it's about 5 miles from here. And in addition to the league, also at Kennedy Krieger, we have an independent aquatics program, which we'd be happy to give you information, as well as the independent wellness program, and you can do that in coordination with your physician and get clearances for that.
And then in Pennsylvania, the big organization is the Pennsylvania Center for Adaptive Sports, and this is located in Philadelphia. Most of their sports are in the Philadelphia area. They do expand up towards the Poconos for skiing. They have rowing, both indoor and outdoor, depending on what the season is, swimming, sled hockey, and then indoor climbing.
And then they also have a Pennsylvania Council on Therapeutic Horsemanship or Therapeutic Riding. This is an organization that different riding clubs can be a part of, and so you can actually go onto their website, look at a database of the different organizations that are a part of it in Maryland, DC, and Pennsylvania. It's a great way to get involved and get out there in nature and on a horse. It also has a lot of proven, in some cases, emotional, physical, and cognitive benefits, as well as the physical benefits are core strengthening, which is really important, as well as balance. And we think of those things when we're trying to prevent falls. So.
And then finally, Virginia. And this is the Wish a Fish organization. They're located in several states: Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, and Pennsylvania. And this is another one of those events that they have different weekends throughout the year. It's not regular. You get a chance to go out on the boat, spend some time on the water, and spend the day fishing.
And the Wish a Fish organization is neat because it involves the whole family. So that might be something when you're kind of branching out, you can do something with your whole family and then go and do something a little bit more independent. So we started the short presentation with this quote. We're going to end. This is a picture from Life Rolls On. Dora and I have both been at some of the organization's events, and it's a great time. And you're out there in the water and surfing, and you can stand up on the board, lay down on the board. We have wedges for the board. But again, it's all how you handle it, and I really think that you can learn to surf whatever the obstacles might be.
And then if you look at any of these sports, any sport can be adapted depending on what you're able to do, what your strengths are, so that you can participate to your fullest ability in any of the sports that we've listed.
If you have any questions about how that might be done, feel free to shoot them at us, and we'll try and answer them as best we can.